electronic in me. Due to the recent events, we will be amending our security protocol to require an additional photo ID check upon entry to Ward 13. Entries will still require use of personal security cards. However, an additional ID will be performed upon entry to the ward. All security officers have been notified of the change, and the new protocol will take effect immediately. Eureka has taken us months, but we have finally reconnected to the Dreamers to Gabriel's world. Subject 2419 is online. The new bounded entity is vastly different from the previous ones. Visual recordings are dim, but audio is greatly enhanced, so much so that our equipment cannot accurately record all of it. The new guardian is belligerent towards the inhabitants. Malicious even. I suspect it shares memories with the previous guardians, consciously or not. Knows what the fuzzies did and treats them accordingly. Fascinating. Well, expedition. Sounds like the high-ups are planning an honest-to-God physical expedition to one of the world's commanders. Neville has requested all operations managers to submit our recommendations. Given the things we've seen since bringing CAPSA online, the Guardians, the Roots, creatures, the massacres, I think it's obvious what our stance has to be. January 20th, 1968. CASA's equipment is going bonkers. It keeps resetting itself to the specific set of parameters, not just the dreaming harness, but the recording equipment, diagnosis, even life support. The effects seems to be coming from CASA's herself, but none of us standing how that's possible. Per procedure, we've tried to sedate and reboot CASA, but that has proven impossible. The system ignores our commands for sedation. Regs tried physically administrating the drugs, of course, but the system automatically applied a reversal agent. I'm concerned if we try to overpower the system, we will end up killing the Dreamer. On the other hand, that may be our only option. This loops doesn't resolve itself. We'll continue an observation for now, but after what happened with Gabriel and the Clementine, I'm worried. They're everywhere. The roots creatures from CASA's world. We were unprepared. How could we be? They attacked so quickly. Reg is dead. So many are dead. We've lost contact with the wards, 16 and 17, maybe others. Those of us still alive have locked ourselves in CASA's room for now, but it won't be long before we are discovered. What the hell is happening? The Dreamers. They're after the Dreamers. They've killed all the CASAs already. It's just a matter of time, except they aren't pounding on our door. They must know we're in here. If they're after Dreamers, why would they leave us alone? Unless, oh god, CASA, she's the gate. That's what I have to do then. Don't have any choice. If we leave this room, they're slaughtering us. And if I'm wrong, well, one more dead Dreamer won't matter much if we're all dead. Bandit. It's done. The system fought in every turn, and the Roots creatures began pounding on the door as though they knew what we were trying to do, but it's over. She's dead, and the Roots are still out there. We're preparing to make one final run for it. I don't know how far we'll get, but we'll die if we stay here. Asgard, Arsgard, whatever. Dreamers was a feedback loop too. We have to tell them. If I was right about being the gate, then... Okay, I guess that's it. What was that? Login? Yeah. Electronic craft. Dearest Regs, I know you're dying to learn to what the government's been doing since I moved to in the Ward 13. So much to tell, I don't know where to start. The red crystals weren't anything we thought, Regs. They're not power source at all. They're conducts through the space itself. I know I wouldn't have believed it either. Wait until you see what they're doing. They've connected test subject dreamers. They've called them to some kind of guardian entity in the other world. I don't mean other planets, I mean parallel worlds side by side in Earth. Not completely inaccessible parts from the crystals. Ford and Hasgard, you remember Captain Ford, dear? He was a recruitment official. He visited us at the university, have a few dreamers on an atoll offshore. In the preliminary reports sound like fairy tales, fauna and goblins, even magic. Of course, it can't actually be magic, but it certainly feels like it's based on our current understanding of physics. It's hard to explain without being able to show you, Regs, but they won't let that happen until transfer goes through. I don't even know if they'll allow this letter out. Be honest, it's fine. I'll show everything in person when you arrive. Our wards already have 2 dreamers connected. I'm supervising activation of a third in a few days, Gabriel. They call him, though I get the feeling it's not his real name. I can't wait to see what he sees. To start investigating one of these worlds for myself. We're on a verge of something amazing, Regs. There's so much more to the universe than anyone thought, even Einstein. What wonders might be out there just lying and waiting for our discovery. See you soon, Belinda. Alright, I gotta turn something around. I'll be right quick. Wait to move my shit to another room. Subject 24191. That should be Gabriel, I think, right? Preliminary observation and finding author. Okay. Commander Naval has asked the recommendations on which should be chosen for our first physical expedition. Subject 24191 is the second dreamer bonded to the so-called fuzzy world, but the worlds has changed drastically since the loss of the previous dreamer with the new guardian entity, a new invading species, and a widespread alteration to the world and the inhabitants. It is fair to say it is no longer the fuzzy's world, and it is highly dangerous. It is my recommendation that we do not send a physical expedition to this world at this time. Last year, subject 2419, known as Gabriel, died in the dreamer's chair when his guardian entity was killed by the inhabitants of his world, formerly known as the Fuzzies. The Fuzzies were intelligent and warlike, yet they were caring towards each other. We still do not know why they turned on their guardian. In February of this year, we were finally successful in connecting a second dreamer when subject 24191 herein referred to as Castle, bonding to what appears to be a new guardian in the same world we have been previously gathered data out of since. Preliminary findings, Cass's world is almost completely unrecognizable from before. Gabriel observed what appeared to be a massive living organism populated by small fur-covered creatures called fuzzies. Casa, however, sees a world covered in root-like growths with a little of the original landscape visible underneath it. Fuzzies are rarely seen at all, at least not alive. The world is now populated by a new violent species of creatures. It is unclear where this new species came from. We saw no evidence of them in Gabriel's recordings, but they have eliminated a large percentage of the former population in a very short time. The new species appears to be a plant-based, bearing a resemblance to the mottle tree or roots. These creatures are violent and destructive, actively hunting the fuzzies, slaughtering them, and leaving the bodies behind while they hunt more. We believe there may still be fuzzies alive in hiding, but given the ferocity of the root species, it is unlikely they will remain so very long. Conclusion and recommendations: I believe the fuzzies will not survive without some kind of intervention. However, I cannot recommend that a human scouting party visits Cass's world in this time. It is likely the root species will treat us the same as the fuzzies, and given the speed and ferocity with which they fight, a lone scouting party will not stand a chance, even with modern weapons. For now, I believe it is best that we continue our observation to learn what we can about these new species before engaging them. So some diagnostic. Okay. Wow, that was a lot. But that was a lot of good information, though. Alright. Let's go over here. Actually, no. Let's finish this up here. Elder knowledge. That sounds crazy. Traits. When a character levels up to receive a single trait point, which can be used to boost the levels of any available traits. Traits are hidden throughout the game and tied to unlocking secrets and completing certain quests. What is Elder? Experience points. Bonus. 1 point. That's pretty sweet. So we have 3 trait points. This place is awesome. Subject 2409 is online vitals are stable, but we're receiving no visual information, and the audio consists only of a low, persistent rumble interspec by seemingly random series of clicks. Attempts to find a pattern in clicks have so far been fruitless, and I'm convinced they're nothing more than a signal noise, perhaps errors in the recording equipment amplified by the dreamer's subconscious, or perhaps there is no signal at all. We've never tested what happens when a dreamer connects with nothing. Most likely Dr. Hasberg reads the ruins wrong, awaiting confirmation. Was this one? Okay. Yeah. Ward 16 reply. Asgard claims he's not wrong in subjects we continue monitoring. We do so if only as CYA. Looks like we're stuck here for a while. Note from Private Waters. Dr. Tasha. I heard a change in the audio last night for about 20 minutes, starting at 211. I heard some kind of singing. That's the only way I can think to describe it. This was on top of the regular rumbling and clicking. I left the tape in your office for your viewing. Also, be advised that I may have seen an anomaly on the video as well as a brief. Very faint pulse of light during the time of the audio anomaly. It may just have been an artifact on the screen, though, or even my imagination. It was very late after all. Light show. Hasgar, $10 for about 2 hours of that. On April 6, 1966, subject 2409's visuals lit up like the goddamn 4th of July. Dozens of lights pulsed on and off with no pattern we have yet discerned. Colors varied, remaining mostly between blue and yellow wavelengths. After approximately 145 minutes, the pulsing began to decrease in frequency, and by key 160 they have ceased entirely. Audios was unchanged during this time. Finally, we have proof this streamer is connected to something. Hasgard is never going to let this drop. Error. Can't get in there. Uh-oh. Got dead bodies in here. Got dead bodies in here, ladies and gentlemen. Gabriel, the dreamer known as Gabriel 2, subject 219. His online data is coming faster than we can deal with it. Gabriel's bonded entity guards a literal living world, some kind of a massive biological organism that houses the guardian within it. The ground is flush and responds to stimuli. The air is thick with moisture. The breeze shifts like breathing. Inhabitants of the world are equally fascinating, with small fur-covered bipedals that we dubbed fuzzies for their resemblance to the creatures from the H.B. Piper's novel. They appear to be sentient. They have no spoken language, but they build tools and structures from the bone-like growths found throughout their world. These observations are preliminary, of course, but they're so exciting. A new species, first contact, what a revelations might be uncovered. Fuzzies has been acting strange at first. They had a kind of god-worshipper relationship with Gabriel's entity, but we've recently seen signs of fear and destruct. A few even threw rocks at their guardian. Could Gabriel's bond have somehow caused this? We've been very careful to observe, only not to interfere, but maybe the fuzzies detached some subtle change we could not predict. Too subtle for us to notice, yet strong enough to cause a violent reaction that seems implausible. A minority of my team is concerned this will affect our experience. One team member is worried Gabriel himself might be in danger, though I see no evidence of that. Gabriel's vitals have been unaffected by the random attacks. A more valid concern is that the very act of observing is affecting what we observe. That may be valid, but it is not reason enough to awake the dreamers, not yet. Uprise. Gabriel was attacked today, or rather the Guardian was. We combining our records for any signs of provocations on our part, but so far have found nothing. Gabriel has been completely passive allowing the Guardians to act independently, and most likely whatever has happened predates Guardians or Gabriel's bond. There have been more calls from the team to wake Gabriel, still a minority, whatever. But it is truly that his heart rate rose briefly during the attacks, but there have been no other signs the attack affected him in any way. I've ordered observation to continue. We will see this through. Subject 2149 was declared dead on Sunday, April 3rd, 1966. His guardian was killed, and his body oh my god, I can't read today. Simply suffered a cardiac arrest. We lost input immediately. Needless to say, my team is devastated, and yet this presents exciting new information. This is the first time a dreamer has died in the chair. Tragic though Gabriel's death is, it proves the bond between the dreamers and the guardians is even stronger than we knew. Research in the fuzzy world has been put on hold for now. Our previous observations in these logs entries will be transferred to another room for study while Gabriel's chair is prepared for our next dreamer. I know we'll be back. There's so much yet to learn. What happened when a world's guardian dies anyways? Man, these people are freaking nuts, man. Just putting people in here and letting them die. Freaking nuts. Like, they don't give a shit about nobody, obviously. They don't care if these people die. That figures. Alright, so we need a key. So obviously these areas we go to, we're going to slowly open this area, this place up. It seems like. It seems like we're going to slowly start to open this place up. Alright, we have a fuse, and I think it might be going down to the bottom, maybe? I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Because we saw some kind of power source downstairs, so maybe it goes in there. Alright, I am starting to have the frame drops. Let me see if I can fix anything without having to reset it. I don't think so. Set at 60 frames per second. Might have to just switch it. Alright, so we've read all this and checked pretty much everywhere. Alright, let's keep going downstairs. Actually, I think that might have fixed it. Yeah, it's running a lot better now. At least right now it is. Hopefully that fixed it. Alright, maybe I bet the fuse goes right here. Turn it. It didn't do nothing. Oh. Duh. Is that it? brightness up. It looks like it's pretty low for you guys. It's better. At least it seems like it's better. Let me know if it's not. It looks like it's better for you guys. Y'all can see what I see. I came from there. Wait, what? Our melee uses no stamina. That is crazy. Maybe it's because we're in here? I don't know. But right now, if you check our stamina a lot, we can just keep meleeing without running out of stamina. So I guess our stamina is only based on dodging and running. That's cool. We definitely got to remember to break these, because we found a ammo box and everything. Oh, I see ya. Okay, so we need a key for this. So we gotta remember we need a key to come back here. Alright. So it looks like we can wear 2 rings and an amulet. Alright. I feel like I've missed something now. Let's just run through here one more time, make sure we haven't missed no bookshelves. I just want to make sure we hit those bookshelves right, because we found that little shortcut. So I just want to make sure we're not missing one. There's a bookshelf back there, but I can't get to it. Alright, I think we've gotten everything. Just want to make sure we didn't miss that key or anything. Oh, wait. Oh, we didn't even look at this. We come in here? No, we didn't. In this room, please keep the air conditioner at all times. The Dreamer's entities lives in a frozen world in some places colder than any recorded measures on the earth, and seems as it reflects aspects of the bombs. In particular, she shows physical signs of discomfort at any temperature above 55. These working in this area are encouraged to wear layers. How did I miss this room? The Guardians came across a clutch of orphaned Paulos. Apparently, they have been lost in the blizzards, but the effects of a Clementine was unexpected. Her noradrenaline levels dropped, and her body shows signs of lacrimation. Most of the teams believe the Guardians, the Dreamers, or both were saddened at the discovery, but we have no records of Guardians ever having or eliciting emotions. If only we could record emotional states somehow. It is unfortunate that we can't speak to the Dreamers without awaking them, and that we can't awake them without risking loss of bonds. FYI, per Commander Neville's orders, we have sedated Clementine until her noradrenaline levels return back to normal. I guess this is now standard operating procedures whenever a Dreamer exhibits any potentially unstable behavior. I suspect the source is that adept in the captain's forwards after what happened with Gabriel and with the Hasgards about to connect a new Dreamer to this clawbone entity. I'm guessing Ford doesn't want any more unnecessary risks. He's probably right. Janitor. Could someone please tell the janitor to leave the AC alone? That's the third time we've had to reboot Clementine this month. Last spring. Rather, I think she's shifted somehow, that she is still exists somehow alone with everything else, including the poor janitor. Unfortunately, don't know what that says. As to why, I have only conjecture reviews. Clementine's final tape shows in a very last frame in one darkened corner you can blah blah blah. This is the clawbone. Has Harsgard always describes his unknown entity in the fantastic terms, but what if he wasn't exaggerating? We know he brought his Dreamer online at apparently the same time Clementine disappeared after all. Did we already read this? Yeah, we already read that. Okay. So obviously they blew up. How did I miss this room? I have no idea how I missed that room. Oh, we did not come in here. Well, it's a good thing we came back because I completely missed that room. Alright, we're good. Oh shit. Well then, okay. There wasn't any other doors that were locked, was there? No, I don't think so. Alright, let's go. I've only spent like 30 freaking minutes down here. I apologize. Just want to make sure we search everything. Alright, let's go try to level up our weapons.
Hello there.
Scared to swing too close to people.
Keep moving.
Can we do anything with that? Thanks for hitting me, lady.
Alright then.
NPCs throughout the world in Ward 13 can be used to craft new items, weapons, mods, boss weapons, armor, etc. Each crafting recipe has a number of required materials plus scrap, which are required to craft that item. Required crafting materials can be viewed in the material tabs under player inventory by pressing. Oh shit. Uses ammunition with fire, increasing damage dealt by 20%. Shots also have a chance to apply burning. I really want to buy that, but it's going to take like all our scrap, so.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, we'll wait on that.
Now go.
I wish we could sheath our weapon though.
Anything you need? Of course. Oh, well, made some of them myself.
We're gonna be like Dark Souls. You gotta like
partner, Jed, made most of the really
all the
good
dialogue.
stuff. Jed, well, he was a genius.
I want whatever that gun is in the
We put together what we
background.
could find, you know,
Looks like a full
microwaves,
auto.
sinks, car engines, you name it. I tell you, feels right putting forgotten things back to work, you know? Oh, sorry. I'm talking your ear off, ain't I?
Where's Jed
Something
now?
else I can do for you.
I gotta turn this up a little bit.
Same place so many go these days. We had a rough winter a while back. Jed got sick, and now it's just me. The ward's full of people carrying the loss with them. But to keep going on, we gotta find new family along the way. Life ain't bad so long as you got folks to look out for, right?
He just keeps
Not
talking.
really my place to say. People can tell you about themselves if they want. Just be careful around McCabe, like I said. Anything else you need? What do you need?
I wonder if we can sell our old stuff. Damn, dude, 102? Hey, what's my weapons now? 66, 70, 17, 38 point. So both these weapons do more damage than any of ours. But this is slow, though. What? Our gun only does 66 damage. Ideal range is 8mm. This one's 7. Max ammo is 28.